Yo, this is like my third time recording this. Hello, thank you for 5,000 subscribers. I thought to celebrate, why don't we do a little Q&A? Answer some questions you've always been wondering about me. Or if you haven't been wondering about me because you don't subscribe, you should subscribe. My name is Kenneth Takanami, and I'm a music producer and artist living in New York. I make a mix of electronic, experimental, rock, and pop music. And if you want to hear a preview, here it is.
I can't stop running, I can't keep swimming like we were kids back then. Never say I love you again. Together with I'm not here now, but I'll hear you out. Still busy trying not to drown.
Anyway, if you wanted to know more about me, let's fucking go. So, I think my musical inspirations kind of went through different phases. The first artist I ever liked was the Beatles, I guess, because that's the first artist everyone in the world likes, I guess. So my parents had the Beatles 1 compilation on CD, and that was the first time I remember liking music. But in terms of my own musical discovery, I was a 2000s emo punk kid. So I really loved Blink-182, Sum 41, Linkin Park, System of a Down. Then as I got a little older, I got into Radiohead, The National, Bon Iver, sad indie. And then after that, my taste sort of evolved to get more into electronic music, so I got really into Fortet, Flying Lotus, Burial. So that's the kind of music I loved as my ear was kind of developing, but these days, it really depends. I got a lot of love for artists like Lil Peep and Joji, but I've also been loving Leve and Olivia Rodrigo. I just really like those songwriters. I find that their lyrics are really heartfelt and sincere, and they kind of got a cool thing going with all their music. I've been listening to some of that, but recently I've been really inspired by 90s big beat productions. So I've been listening to a lot of Chemical Brothers and Propeller Heads and DJ Shadow. Been loving The Prodigy, always loved The Prodigy. And then there's a lot of cool things in hyperpop going on. Artists like Umru and Tor and Underscores are all really cool. Super inspiring stuff. Random hardcore bands like Touche Amore. All these things, all these little things. Also for me, I kind of tend to listen to one or two artists nonstop instead of many artists or playlists. I just, I like to have deep relationships with my artists. No situationships with any of my music. It's all deep, loving marriages. There is not an album in the works, because a smaller artist like me, you kind of got to work your way towards that. I probably have enough songs for an album, but at this point, there will be an EP. I guess that's an exclusive, so stay tuned. I will be dropping an EP at some point this year. That one really depends. I think the most common one, which is actually something that I heard Danny L. Harl talk about too in an interview. I'm most used to writing in a DAW. For me, that's the canvas, and I like to look at it from a visual standpoint. That's where I feel most comfortable creating. Typically, I start with an idea. Could be an ambient sound bed, it could be a guitar part, it could be a voice memo, and usually from there I come up with a melody just into probably this microphone right here, and experiment until something sounds cool. Other times I've used samples, or I've played things on a keyboard that I sang later. I like to hear the song kind of be towards its final product. I just generally don't like writing on an acoustic instrument or just an instrument in general, but that depends. This new EP that I have coming out next year, a few I wrote just on an acoustic, which I don't normally do. I got this mug at the Moog Museum. It's cute. Look at it. I could only afford the mugs there. I can't afford a Moog. I can only afford the cheaper, slightly similarly named gift shop product, the mug. I'm basic as fuck. I like vanilla. I've done your, strawberry, caramel, pistachio, cigarette, ice cream. I don't fucking like any of it. I'm boring. I'm basic. I like my vanilla. Shoot me. I'd have to say it's Radiohead's In Rainbows. Honestly, I think I can still play most of it on guitar. Let's see. That's all I got. That wasn't like the first Radiohead album that I loved. That was definitely Kid A, but it's definitely the Radiohead album that stood the most test of time for me. I just love how laid bare the lyrics are. It's somewhere Tom York, I think, hadn't really gone to emotionally in the past, just being so direct. And honestly, like the album's mix of like genuine emotion and experimentation is something that I just think set the blueprint for so much music I liked. It's especially the mix of genres. Like, you know, they got rock, experimental, electronic, ambient, post-rock there. It's really just the kind of album that really set my taste for the rest of my life. So if you haven't listened to it, good for you. You're probably a lot happier than I am. You know, just light stuff like nihilism, grief, addiction, depression, loneliness, war, heartbreak, just light stuff. I'm just kidding. The real topics of the album are going to be hugs, cupcakes, sprinkles, gratitude, hugs, best friends, doing really well in life and getting married at 24 and having 2 beautiful kids in the suburbs. I'm just kidding. Every song is going to be about Nancy Reagan. Honestly, for me, dream collabs are not as appealing as they might seem. So I definitely have like a bunch of dream collabs. Obviously, like the biggest one would be like Derek Whibley or Mike Shinoda. Like Liam Howlett, Fred again, all of those artists I love. That would be really cool. But honestly, like for me, the best collaborations are just with your friends. You're going to really get honest and direct feedback from people that you already know and like. And those are the best collabs. Like you can definitely hear the kind of collabs that were made with like love and excitement rather than intention and commerciality. You know what I mean? Like a dream collab would only be great if we are on the same page and want to work together, you know? Editing this video when I'm done shooting it and hanging out with friends. It's winter. There's not a lot to do. I hope to watch the new Miyazaki film at some point. So if you're watching this, I've probably already seen it. So let me know what you thought of it. I wear what I think looks good. I hope you guys or anyone else thinks it looks good too. Fashion, I guess, has always been like sort of like another hobby interest of mine since I was like a teenager. Music has always been really inspirational to what I wear. I mean, this is a Smashing Pumpkins shirt. I've always been super inspired by the bands that I liked growing up and the bands they liked growing up, fashion styles. Like as I understand it, like music and fashion have always been intertwined, from like your Vivienne Westwoods to like your Kanye Wests, you know? I guess it's just that like fashion is always drawing from counterculture, right? And what is the counterculture doing? They're always making music. So I guess like to answer your question, sort of styles, I've liked a lot of like punk, skater, grunge styles. I wear a lot of vintage stuff. I spend a lot of time obviously on like Depop and Pinterest. But also like I just wear what's comfortable and I think I feel cool and comfortable in. So I actually got asked to do another full video of this, so I might do it at some point. But if you want more fashion videos, drop it in the comments. Maybe I'll do one. I had the big fortune of playing my first festival show in New York City this year. I played Head in the Clouds, but other than that, for next year, I've been really focusing on finishing this EP. So once that's done, maybe you'll hear about some shows. We'll see. Experimentation, practice, and honest feedback from people. But ultimately, it's also being true to yourself and what you like. I'm only taking inspiration from the things that inspire me. What excites me musically is going to come out into my work. So to find your musical style, you have to be honest with yourself. What do you like? What do you enjoy listening to? What music do you want to make that you would listen to? Anyway, that is a wrap for me and my first Q&A. Thank you for 5,000 subscribers and thank you for a wonderful year. I don't know how the fuck to do an outro for this video, so just hit that subscribe button so I can go wash the shit out of my hair. I love you guys so much. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for 5,000 subscribers. You're my little takoyakis. I really want to be sponsored by BetterHelp, so please just hit that subscribe button. I need it. I fucking need to be Kenneth out. Bye.